And Mata, I cannot even begin to tell you that we have over 170 people with us tonight. Isn't that amazing? I know, I'm so very excited. I would love to hear where you're all from. Maybe put in the chat where you're from, and we'll welcome you from wherever you are in the world. Thanks again for joining us tonight.
Now.
No, I just read an article yesterday that said that BC might have to hire nearly 12,000 early childhood educators to meet the demand that's there. It is incredible how employable our students are. Now, do the instructors that teach the students in the program, do they also supervise them during their practicum?
Yes, they do. If the instructors are available to do the practicum component, we do encourage them to do that. It's great for the students because they have ongoing support. So they have their instructor in the classroom doing the face-to-face lectures and teaching and everything. And then they also have that one-on-one support with somebody that they feel comfortable with at the center. So if students have questions, any type of concerns, we kind of build a really great relationship with our students. Like we try to create an environment that's inclusive, where we embrace open communication. We want them to feel supported. We want them to feel that they can come to us with any questions or difficulties.
And I'm sure that you have centers all the time asking you for our graduates and our students.
So we do have centers all the time asking for our graduates. We do have centers. Centers are always looking for teachers, actually. And when we go visit our students at the centers, it's great to hear the positive feedback and how they tell us that Spotshot does make a difference in training ECE teachers because they are very skilled when they go into the field.
That's incredible. So when our students get out there and they graduate and they found employment, what sort of wage range can they expect from the different programs that we offer at Spotshot?
Okay, so our minimum wage right now in BC is about $14.60, I think. But I think that will go up within a year. By next June, I think, 2021. I think it's supposed to go up to $15.20. So if a student achieves their ECE assistant license, they'll probably start at a $15 rate. Once they move into their basic program and they can work in the center with children from 3 to 5 years old, they'll probably be making between $17 and $20 on average. And then if they acquire either other licenses like their infant toddler, their CWE, the rate goes higher from 20 to 25. And then if they get into the Montessori field, that goes a little bit higher from 25 to 30.
Fantastic.
So they have great growth opportunities. They can start off with their assistant and then they can move all the way up to whatever their heart desires, really.
And really, we have many students who take one of the starter programs, like our ECE Assistant or ECE Basic, and then they come back to take the diploma program or to take our Montessori program. And they're constantly adding to their credentials, and they're building upon the experience and the skills they have, which makes them even more employable and helps them to get a higher wage after they gain that experience. So tonight we're actually in one of our ECE classrooms. We're really excited to show this to you. Classes right now, I'm sure that you are aware, under the current situation, are online. But I can tell you from firsthand experience that our class environment has not changed at all. We've had many agents and students join us for complimentary desk for a days in our online classes, and the feedback has been wonderful. They've said there's no difference between being in the classroom and being online. And tonight we're going to show you what our typical classroom looks like. We're in a Montessori classroom, but we've brought in some of our ECE materials so that you can see everything. And we'll walk around and we'll just show you some of the work that our students do and the resources that they have to use throughout the program. So Mata, how about we start off with you showing us this lovely piece of art that was created.
So
this was actually created
created in our socials module. It's not really an assignment, so students did not really make it for marks, which is kind of surprising, right? But we were in the classroom and we were talking about the different cultures and the continents, and then we were Googling some ideas, and then they came up with this. So they put all the continents on this cardboard. It actually says on the outside, this is your world. There, you can see it like that.
That's great.
And they added the continents and then animals, plants, food. And it was just a fun project that we did in class. And once they've created it, they gave it to me when they left my class. So it's very special, and I keep it and share it with other students.
So lovely. You know, it's a great representation of how multicultural our classes are. We have students from all over the world, both local students and international students, and it must have been a fun project for them to create together to show different aspects from the countries and the parts of the world that they're from.
It was very fun.
Yeah, I just love this.
And they were using their own language to express themselves and say some of the things in their native language. Which
Well,
was
that
really nice.
adds a whole other level of learning for our students. Now, this part of the class is from our Montessori program. And for those of you who are on tonight that are interested in our Montessori programs, please let us know. We're going to run a separate session specifically on Montessori. That is a specialized program, so we want to really make sure that we can dedicate a full session to telling you all about Montessori. But you'll see around the room different aspects of the program. So Mata, how about the felt art that we see down here? Can you tell me a bit about this?
Sure.
And maybe we can hold some up for people.
These are part of our language course. So this is actually a work of a student. This goes along with a 5 green and speckled song. So we can sing it. Do you know it?
Oh, I don't know.
The song goes like this. I'll sing a little bit.
Okay, maybe I'll join in.
5 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum.
Yum.
One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now there are 4 green speckled frogs. Gulp, gulp. 4 green and speckled frogs sat on a speckled log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Now we have 3 speckled frogs. Gulp, gulp. That goes on and on. It's a little bit awkward doing it for you on TV, but you got the gist of it.
You know, I have to say, when I get to go into the EC classes, some of my favorite classes are music and movement, or art, or our language classes, where we really get to see the students express themselves.
Move around and express. And
Yeah, the other day I was in an online class and I just missed Baby Shark. I was so upset.
So these are felt. Students can create different stories. This is an actual song. This one is created from the book. Some of you might be familiar with There Wasn't a Lady Who Swallowed a Fly. This is just a sock, and students have made it into a puppet. So they are very creative. They don't always need to spend a lot of money creating materials. It's just things around the house, things that they have, like, so this is a sock puppet, which is something cute.
I think, you know, it's really important for us to teach our students that it's not about how much money you spend on an activity or on a piece of art, because for many of our students, it might be difficult for them to spend a lot of money, but even more importantly, it could be difficult for the families that they're caring for in the center. And so for our students to understand that is really important.
It is, and actually now that you're bringing that up, I would like to say that even now that our programs have moved to like an online platform, we still run the same way. Nothing has really changed. So the students are still given opportunities to create materials, but now we encourage them to go more into nature and pick up sticks and pine cones and things like that and create materials that they can always use in the field.
And this is an example of that, right?
Yeah. So one of the students found a nest. It is an actual real nest, a bird nest. They found it on the ground of a forest or something. They didn't pick it off a tree. It was just there. And then we bought these little birds and put them in there.
Perfect.
So they're very creative. They come up with great ideas, and they can use these in the field to teach children different things.
That's wonderful. Now, art is another one of my favorite classes. And this is an amazing ice cream cone.
It is a amazing cone.
I just cannot
What flavor
even
do you
believe
think it is?
Yeah, strawberry? Maybe bubble gum with all these little balls on it.
Yeah, I think they called it rainbow ice cream.
Oh, yeah, that's good for sure.
So this is like a big paper mache project that they did. They used the newspapers and then they glued them and then they painted over them and used the pom-poms and the pipe cleaners. It was created in the art module.
I love it.
They're very creative. Students
Very.
come up with amazing ideas.
Yeah, another example of that is this
Yeah.
beautiful vase. I think it's a vase
Mhm.
that was created also out of paper mache. And then look at the
The
beautiful
flowers.
flowers.
Yes.
I mean, they
It's
just
amazing,
took it
isn't
to
it?
another
Yeah.
level by adding in the flowers. I think it's so creative.
And the best part is that they leave them here and then our
Yeah.
classrooms look so beautiful.
That's right. And we get to show them to you. Now, Mata, books are really, really important in the ECE program. We'll just head over this way. Sorry. And they're important for us to use in the classroom, but also important for students to get used to using them when they're in the centers. Can you talk a bit about the books and the resources that our students have access to when they're in the program?
Sure, we have books. We have actually a library of books, but we don't have access to it every day in the classrooms, but as instructors, we can go up and bring books down and change them according to the theme or however we want to present them to students. We read books when we're doing circle in class. One of the language activities that we do in ECE is called circle. So a teacher leads a circle.
Right.
And you can do music and movement. You can do felt stories like the ones that we showed them down there.
Yes.
We can read a story, that kind of thing. Other than that, we encourage them to read books amongst themselves, their friends, and create stories. A lot of them are, we try to bring a lot of books in that are multicultural too, because we have international students. So it's nice they can reference to them and share their celebrations or what's important in their country. So books are very important, not just for young children, but for our students. too.
Yes, yeah.
It's a great way to express yourself.
Oh, for
You
sure.
can learn somebody brings you a story.
Yes, yeah. And this year we ran an on-site book fair. And for those of you who didn't get to participate in it, this is going to
Amazing.
become an annual thing where we set up an on-site book fair for our students. And they get to come and they get to purchase supplies that they're going to use while they're out there in the field. And it's supplies that they can use, but it's also books that they, that might relate to them, or books that were important to them growing up. And it was so fun to see them get all excited about the books and the supplies that were there for them. So another really great resource for our students.
And for the first time that we ran it, it was great. And
Yes.
it was actually right before the big COVID outbreak.
It was, yeah. So it's nice.
But it was great.
Yeah,
It was great for the students.
It
too.
was, yeah. And
See
now
the
they have the
resources.
books to
They
practice
have
at
the
home.
books.
I used to always try to see how I could hold the book the same way that someone does in circle, because I think it's a bit of an art.
It's to be honest, it's a matter of preference.
Is it? Okay.
I like to hold my books like this
Okay.
when I'm reading. So I would read and kind of hold like that,
I
and then
see.
pass it around so everybody can see, and then keep it here and turn the page and pass it around. I think it's more engaging for
Yes.
children because they kind of focus on the pages.
Yeah.
And it's worked for me in the past. Other teachers though do like to read like this in front of them and then they turn the book.
Turn, yeah.
So it is a matter of preference really.
Okay, great, good to know. I have 2 kids of my own, so I like to pick up as many tips as I can from EC. Now, how about these
These are
resources
other
that we have
resources.
here?
We encourage students to go online and look at different resources.
Oh, these are little games.
So these are games. Students can download them and print them. We actually have laminating machines here where students can laminate these activities. And I just bought a bunch of dice here and they can play the games. That one is a similar idea. It's like a math activity. It's a graph. So this would be like a die and they roll it. And then depending where it falls, like the type of dinosaur.
Oh, yes.
So then you collect the dinosaurs and put them on the graph and you count how many you get of each dinosaur. So children can learn the names of the dinosaurs
Fun.
too. This is another extension of the culture one that we were looking at there. It's a little pillow, so they actually take the felt and cut out the continents and sew it on here. This one is mine. I made it in class, but students got to make their own. And these are just pictures. It's a butterfly life cycle.
Oh,
So they're just pictures that we printed, and we just laminate them here at the school, and then they can have this to use it
great.
to show children the butterfly life cycle.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you for showing all of this tonight. And then the rest of the room, as I said, is set up for Montessori. So we hope that when we have that session that you'll all join us to learn about that program as well. So I think now what we're going to do is look to see if everyone has any questions that they'd like to ask. Let me see if I can see any questions here. Maybe I'll just add it in the chat. Okay, we'll just wait to see if, oh, let's see. We have a question from Aaron. Aaron is on tonight, and he'd like us to explain the ECE licensing process. Maybe talk about how we apply for the licenses.
Sure. So if a student enrolls in the ECE basic program, once they've completed the program and the practicum component, which is the 3 practicums that I explained before, then they're completely done. So they have to fill out an application, and they submit the application to the registry in Victoria to apply for their ECE BC license. Us as a college, we will send their transcript over directly because it doesn't go through the student, it goes from the college to the registry. And then there's no fee or anything, it's just a form that they complete, and then their ECE BC license will get mailed to them back from the registry. So originally they get the certificate from us, and then they get their BC license from the registry. And the process is the same for all the other programs as well, for the infant, toddler, and the CWE. The Montessori, you get certified from the college because it is a specialty, so you don't need an extra license.
Wonderful.
I'm not sure, I can't remember if I said in order to enroll in the Montessori program, you have to complete your ECE basic program. So you need your
really
ECE license before you go into your Montessori.
Yeah, that's great. Which is also why we're talking mostly about ECE basic tonight and our diploma program. And then we'll do the advanced level, which
and
is
maybe
our
we should give a little bit more information on our diploma programs, because we do have the certificate ones that are individualized. So basic, IT, CWE, Montessori, but we do have the diploma ones that are a combination. So students can do basic with IT and CWE, or they can do basic with Montessori. So they have different options.
That's a really great point. Yeah.
And our programs run all year round. So you don't have to start at a certain time and end at a certain time. We're here ready for you whenever you're ready to come in.
So true. Looks like that Elaine is wondering if classes next term will be held online as well. So that's a great question, Elaine. Right now, under the current situation, we're really waiting for guidance from the government to see exactly what direction they want us to take. We want to ensure the health and safety of our staff and our students. So it's difficult for us to pinpoint a time as to when classes will be back on campus. But as soon as we have that information, we will pass it on to all of our agents and our potential students and let them know the minute we hear. Sorry, just give me a second here. Is Canada still hiring during the pandemic? 100% yes. And maybe Mata, you want to answer this one because you cover the practicum supervision.
Well, I'm not sure about all of Canada, but I think they are. But as far as BC goes, there is a 2.4% increase in ECE jobs from 2019, like within the next forecasted 10 years. And as I said before, over 8,600 new job openings. The ECE is highly in demand. We have centers that are hiring right now, even through this time of adversity. Our students are still going on practicum. Nothing has really changed. So I don't think anybody will ever have an issue being hired at ECE.
No, I agree.
Most centers have a huge waiting list. To be honest, moms, when they are pregnant, they put their child's name on the waiting list, so after birth, they can enter an infant and toddler classroom. That's how high the
It's
demand
in
is
demand even
in
before you
BC.
know you're having a baby.
Yeah,
Okay, so we also have a question. Sorry, I can't see who this one's from, but asking about the different times that we offer our programs. So right now, we're currently offering morning, afternoon, and evening for our ECE Basic program. We also have those options for our post-basic or diploma program. And then for Montessori, that's run during the day. So we have a lot of options. We're very flexible in terms of student scheduling, and just let us know what works for you and we will see how we can accommodate that. Do we offer scholarships? We have many scholarships offered at Sprott Shaw, and if you visit our website, we have a whole page that's dedicated to the scholarships and grants that we offer. You can also ask about the scholarships that are available to our international students. Just speak with our international marketer, and they'll let you know what options we have available. If you're currently studying at one of our ESL partners, there's scholarship options for you. So many options available. Any other questions out there tonight? I'm just going to put that in the chat too in case someone didn't hear. I just don't want to miss anybody. Well, it looks like that might be it. Well, I just really want to thank everybody so very much for joining us tonight. Oh, no, looks like we've got a couple more questions coming in. Sorry about that. What types of licenses are in BC? How are they different? So I think we've answered this a few times, but just to remind everybody, we have the ECE assistant license, we have the ECE license, and then we also have the post-basic license for infant and toddler and children with exceptionalities. Each of those is going to allow you to work in a different position or have different responsibilities when you're in the center. And each of those is also going to give you a different wage range when you are out there and you're employed after graduation. So I think that you were talking about the ranges. So maybe remind everybody again what the range was for EC assistant versus basic.
For assistant,
and the
they would
advanced.
start around $15, let's say, and go up to $17. For basic teacher that would work in an environment with children from 3 to 5 years old, it would go from like 17 to 20. Then if the student has their infant toddler or CWE license, it goes from 20 to 25. Then with your Montessori, it can go from 25 to 30. The rate really depends on the centers though, okay? It's not a provincial rate. So some centers pay higher, some centers pay lower. That's the reality.
Perfect. Good. And then while I'm studying, can I get a part-time job?
Yes, of course. As soon as the student achieves their ECE assistant license, they can work in the field.
Great.
Before that, they can volunteer
Yeah.
to get to know the center and the teachers there and see if they like the environment and the philosophy. Actually, maybe that's another thing that I can touch on. ECE has different philosophies. There are different centers in the city. Some of them are Montessori, some of them are Reggio, some of them are Waldorf. So our school is based on play-based learning, but we still go over the other philosophies to give our students an overall view of what ECE is out there, and then they can choose for themselves where they would like to work. And that's it, really. It's very easy.
So many options.
It is. They have a lot of options.
Yeah. And then someone was also asking, do we provide any job opportunities or practicum? Absolutely, Heaton. We have Mata here at the Seymour location, and she helps our students with their practicum placements. So 3 months prior to the start of the practicum, she's working with the student to make sure that she can match them with an available practicum placement. And then following graduation, we still have Mata available because she's got so many connections in the field, but all of our campuses also have an employment services specialist. And their key role is to help students in finding employment after graduation. They are there to help a student find employment while they're in school, but we just find that Mata, with the experience she has and the connections she has, it makes sense to connect them with her if they're looking for in-study employment. And then so many of the employers that we work with for our practicums truthfully will hire the student before they even finish their final practicum. So that also speaks to how high of an employment rate we actually have after graduation. Let me see here. For every program you apply, you get licenses. Yes. So again, we've got ECE Assistant, ECE Basic, Infant and Toddler, and Children with Exceptionalities, and all those licenses are available to our students. Monica is asking about PGWP when I finish my program. So most of our students will receive employment from their practicum. So the centers are really looking to hire the student, and then in many cases will also potentially sponsor the student. So that's a great opportunity for our students. Our programs are not PGWP eligible, but this process works really well for our ECE students. And we have many centers that provide those sponsorships.
Because the demand is so high and they want to have skillful teachers. So
that's right.
It works for the students, but it also works for the centers.
Yes. This is a great question for Anna, from Anna. Is there any male students in ECE program, or is it all female students? I love this question.
There are male students. Now there have been male students the last 2 to 5 years, I want to say. Centers are actually looking for male teachers.
Yeah.
They are looking to promote that father figure role model. Male teachers in ECE have a different energy. They play differently with the children. They're a little bit more rough than women. We tend to be a little bit more caring. So now the field is balancing male and female teachers. So yeah, that's a great question.
It is a great question.
And children love them.
Oh, you know, I have, I think I mentioned before, I've got kids of my own, and both were in daycare. So this is why I'm super passionate about early childhood educators, because they're so important. But my son got the opportunity to have 2 male teachers, and it was the best experience for him. So if you have any male students that are interested, please, please, please encourage them to enroll. We need more male educators out there for our boys. Trust me, we absolutely do.
I have a male student in my class.
Yeah, that's right, we do. Yeah, we have a couple, I think. Okay, so someone's asking about the English requirements and saying if I don't have enough high enough English level for ECE program, are there entrance exams that you can take? So we offer, or we have entrance tests that the students will take to see if they have meet the level that's required for the program. But if not, we also have Sprott Child Language colleges available, so students can take some ESL training there and get the English level up to what's required for the program, and then enter the ECE program. So we have lots of options in the event that your English level isn't high enough. Let's see here. Oh, can I apply for the Montessori? This is a great question for you. Can I apply for the Montessori program directly if I got an ECE diploma in my country, or do I need to take ECE Basic first?
If you have an ECE diploma in your country, you could probably apply for the Montessori. We would just have to, or not we, you would have to call the registry in Victoria and just give them your credentials, and they compare them to the ones that are here. Most of the time they allow you to take the program. There have been rare occasions where they just suggest you take one ECE course or a couple of them, and then you can transfer into the Montessori program right away. So you don't have to do your full ECE program here.
Yeah, we have many students actually who have credentials from their home countries. And even if you don't get credit for your full credential, the registry is very good at letting you know exactly what course you might have to take as a refresher to meet the BC requirement, so that you can then go on and take the program that you want. It's a really great process. Oh, someone has a question. My friend is over 40 years old. Can she apply? Absolutely. There is no age limit to being an early childhood educator. You know, I've experienced personally myself, educators of all age ranges, and similar to male teachers, they add a wonderful dynamic to the class. Yeah, I think it's fantastic. let me see here. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow with bringing up the question. If I have the ECE assistant license, can I apply for a part-time job at a daycare? Yes, you most certainly can. Once you get your ECE assistant license, you can apply for a part-time job at a daycare. Most of our students who enroll in ECE Basic will get their assistant license about 3 months into the program. It will depend where you start and when you start, but typically around 3 months, you will be able to go and apply for your ECE assistant license, and then that allows you to work part-time. And I would say almost all of our students do that. It's really a great way for them to build the connections in the field. Any other questions out there?
Maybe they're typing.
Maybe. Mata, anything else you want to add that we may have missed?
Our programs are fun. That's what I want to add.
Yeah.
When we are in the classroom with our students, we learn with them. So our philosophy is learner-centered, really. And when we say learner, we don't just mean our students. We as instructors learn with our students. There are students that come from different backgrounds. So whether you've taken your ECE at a different country, or whether you're taking your ECE here, whether you're volunteering or you're working, we all have experiences that we can share in the classroom. So we do have a lot of fun in the classroom, and that's what makes them different, I think, in comparison to other colleges around the city.
And I also love how our students don't just learn the program that they're in. They also learn from each other about childcare and child rearing from their home country. And then it creates this wonderful dialogue where they get to learn from each other and see how it translates into Canadian practice.
We foster like open communication. As instructors, we're not there to just teach them. We are there for support. It's easy for them to come and chat with us. It's easy for them to come and share their issues or difficulties that they're having in the program. Due to COVID now, we are there for support. A lot of the students are here and their families are back home. So we do have open communication, email, hey, how are you? That kind of thing. We do build relationships with our students. It's not that they're in the classroom and then they are gone. I have students that were in my classroom in the past and now they are in China, they're in Vietnam, with the COVID hitting. I got so many emails from my students saying, hi, Mata, how are you? How's everyone at Spot Shot? So it's kind of very meaningful to see that they care for you even when they are outside of your program.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anna has a great question as well. Do you have many students that successfully got job offer right before or after they complete the program? 100% yes. Mm-hmm. I would say the majority of our students. Our employment rate, again, is 92.3%. So that tells you right there that most of our students gain employment either immediately before completing or very, very soon after. Centers are in need of qualified, skilled, dedicated early childhood educators. So as soon as they have one on their site or in their facility on practicum and they have a position available, they want that person. Because they've already trained them, they've integrated into the center, they've got to know the children and the other educators, and so it just works so well for everyone.
Everyone. It is.
Much easier.
And we all work very hard. The teachers, like the instructors and the students, work very hard. Our biggest goal is to produce graduates who are successful, who have a career that's meaningful to them, who are happy in the field, because you have to be a happy teacher.
You do.
You have to be a happy teacher.
Yeah. Someone is asking, how many kids can they take care of?
It depends on your license. If you achieve your ECE basic license, the ratio is 1 teacher to 8 children. With the infant toddler license, the ratio is 1 teacher to 4 children. With the CWE license, or children with special needs, the ratio is 1 to 2 in the center.
Great. And how about opening your own center after graduation? There's some questions on that tonight too.
You are able to open your own center, of course. You would have to meet the licensing requirements. We do talk about all the licensing requirements in our program. We have a course called Foundations, and you go through all the forms and everything that you need to be aware of. And then once you've graduated and stuff, it's just a matter of finding the location, meeting the licensing requirements, getting a business license, and your license, like your ECE license to operate a center. And depending on what you would like to operate, if it's a 3 to 5 program or an infant toddler program or a combination of both, there are various licenses.
So
But-
even if I only have my ECE basic license, I can still meet all the licensing requirements and open my own daycare center and just offer care to 3 to 5.
Yes.
Ah, perfect. That's something I
yes.
didn't know.
But if you apply, let's say for group daycare for 3 to 5, the maximum license capacity that you can have here in Vancouver is 25 children. So that would mean that you need 3 teachers in the
Right.
classroom because the ratio is 1 to 8.
Right.
So with your ECE, you can open the center, you just have to hire staff. You can't run a full center by yourself.
Yes, yeah. Well, then you know where to hire the other practicum or the other students that you
Your
need.
friends, your
Yes.
friends from the classroom.
You open your center and then we'll help you hire the other educators. Someone is asking for us to share some feedback from daycare centers regarding our practicum students. I'm sure you hear this all the time.
It's very positive. I've never been to any center that has given me negative feedback from my student that has been there. The feedback is always positive. Even in the practicum handbook that we get back, like as a practicum supervisor, there's a question in there whether they will hire the student and what they're looking for. So 9% of the times that is a circle yes. All our centers want to hire the students. They love how open they are with children. They love how they do their circles. They love how they do hands-on activities. They love the material that they make in the classroom that they bring into the center to kind of change the environment and give a variety to children, because centers have their own materials, but our students come in with a portfolio of things. So it's nice, it's different. It makes children be attracted to the new materials and kind of they wow factor. So centers really like them.
That's great. Let me see here. Heaton is wondering if you need to take extra exams to get your ECE license. No. So the program itself and what you learn in the program and specific courses relate to each of the licenses. So there's 3 courses that are required for your assistant license. And then we also have the basic program. And once you've successfully completed that basic program and your practicums, then you qualify to apply for your basic license.
And so there's no other fee or anything.
Yeah.
It's just a form.
You just fill out the form, submit the official transcript that we'll submit for you, and then wait for your license to come.
It usually takes about 4 to 6 weeks on average. If you would like to know how long it takes for the registry to send the licenses out, depending how busy they are, but average is 4 to 6 weeks. So after you submit your application and the college sends your transcript over, about 4 to 6 weeks average before they mail your license out.
Great. And how long is the Montessori program?
The Montessori program is about 9 months. It's very interactive. It alternates weeks. So 1 week is in the classroom where we do our lessons and our hands-on exercises and activities, and we go through all the materials. And then the following week, they go into the center and they do an observation exploration component. And then the 3rd week, they come back. And then the 4th week, they go out again. So it's hands-on in the classroom and then hands-on out of the classroom. The reason is because it has so many materials, as you can see, around the classroom. So students can get to work with them and play with them within the classroom with their friends and me, the instructor. And then they take the experiences that they have here and they go into Montessori settings and try them there and do lessons with children there. So it's completely different. In the classroom, when they're doing it with adults, it's a little bit easier. When they actually go into the field and they do a lesson with a child, it's a little bit more challenging because then they have to be the teacher that's actually presenting the lesson.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I do very well at that.
No, but they do really good.
I'm
They
sure.
do very well.
How long is the ECE license valid?
If you can get 2 licenses actually for EC. You can get a 1-year license. When you first finish the program, most students get a 1-year license, and then within the year they have to acquire 500 hours. Once you have your 500 hours of volunteer or work experience, then you can apply for your 5-year license. So we encourage students to start working or volunteering right away as soon as they get their ECE assistant, because then they can accumulate their hours. If they don't want to work, or volunteer and they just want to finish the program, then after they are done, they have to accumulate the hours to get their 5-year license. So it really depends on the student.
Perfect. We've even run some seminars for ECE educators that need to get their hours for their 5-year license. So we're still contributing and supporting the community long after our students have graduated and started working in the community. And we feel that that's really important and part of our responsibility. If we're graduating students to work in the field, we want to continue to support them when they're in the field. And even educators who didn't graduate from Sprott Shaw, when we run these sessions, they can come and take them to be able to get their hours for their license. Someone is asking, Irene actually has asked, why should I study this program at Sprott Shaw? That's a really great question. I can tell you that Sprott Shaw College graduates the highest number of early childhood educators in our area and the locations that we offer the program. Sprott Shaw College has been around for a very long time, since 1903. And when we started on the philosophy that we wanted to make sure that we prepared our students for employment. And that was our philosophy then, but it's also our philosophy today. And we've never lost sight of that. Every program we've offered, every time we've modified the program, we've asked ourselves, how can we make our students more employable? How can we make our students gain employment after graduation? How can we continue to serve the community? And I think that that speaks volumes when you're looking at a school that you want to take your program at. I know that there's lots of options out there, but you're not going to get me, you're not going to get Nata. And we are really passionate about helping and supporting our students becoming the best early childhood educators they can be. This is really important. It's no different than us graduating our healthcare students. You're out there working for the most vulnerable people in our community. And that's representative of the position still being part of essential service under the current situation. And the fact that our students have never been impacted based on the current situation. They are still getting employed, they are still getting hired, they are still getting their practicum placements. So please just come and experience a desk for a day. If you still are questioning why you should pick us, I will gladly welcome you into one of our online classes and you can experience it for yourself and you can see how much fun they have, and maybe I'll be on there doing Baby Shark. I have no idea. Let's see.
And we do a lot of things in the
Yeah.
very,
the Children's Festival. Can you talk a bit
we
about
do
that?
the Children's Festival in May. So we and our students go volunteer at the Children's Festival, which is a big function here in Vancouver. And students can go around in the different areas and help children play or color or make art or whatever they are doing. Also, as a campus, we have a Kindness Wednesday. So every Wednesday we do something kind, whether it's to a student or to another staff member, or so we have Be Kind kind of Wednesday. We also do where we go in the downtown area where we fed the homeless people.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What do we call that? I'm not sure what we call it, but we do that once a year too, and that's very
That's very heartwarming. Yes,
Yeah,
very
that's very
heartwarming. Yes.
heartwarming.
Yeah. So much to do in the community.
Mhm.
What is the usual class and work schedule? So the class schedule is 5 hours a day, Monday to Friday. And I think that we already touched on that we offer morning, afternoon, and evening. And then maybe, Mata, you can talk about the work schedule.
The work schedule is a combination of PowerPoints, let's say, lectures, hands-on activities. We do discussions. They do inquiry learning. We do group work. There are assignments. There are exams. So it's a combination of different things. So some courses are a little bit more challenging than others. Child development is a little bit more theory-based. We talk about the developmental domains, things like that, because they're very important for us to create curriculum and teach the young children. And then we have other courses that are a little bit lighter, like art, music, and movement, where we get to move around, create things, be more kinesthetic learners, and kind of express freely.
Great.
So we don't really have a specific work schedule. It depends on the class, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah.
University pathway options. Some people are asking about that. And we do have university pathway options available. We have them available with Capilano University and also City University. And you can reach out to your international marketer and they'll let you know. We even have pathways to BCIT. So there's many, many options for our students. And don't ever think that by taking a program here, completing it and graduating, that you're no longer a part of Sprott Shop. So one of the guarantees that we have is that, and this is another great reason to choose to take your program with us, is you are a lifetime student of Sprott Shop. So what that means is if you graduate from here, and then let's say you go and you choose to relocate to Kelowna, or you relocate to Victoria, you are still a lifetime student of Sprott Shop. So you can go to Victoria campus and you can say, you know what, I graduated from Seymour. Can you come and help me? I still need some help to find work now that I'm in Victoria. That work will, or that assistance and support will be available to you at any of our locations. And it is available to you for life. And I stress that, for life. Even if you graduate from here and you go to your home country and then you come back to Canada, doesn't matter, 5 years, 10 years, you come back, you're still a part of our family. That never ends. And we've been around since 1903, so we're not going anywhere, which is even better. But we offer we also offer lifetime job placement assistance. And that's really important too, because let's say you've been out there working in the field and you decide to take a break and you want to get back into the field. We'll help you with that, again, for life. If you need to refresh your training, you can come back and you can get 4 weeks of free refresher training every year for life. The only thing you pay for is a book. So, and that's only if it changed. So we have all these wonderful lifetime guarantees to you as a student and to the employers that hire you. So I think that's just important to share. I think I've missed some questions here. Let me just get back on track. Sorry, I went off on a little bit there, but I thought it was important. Can I have a choice of the schedule of the class? So that's a question that I get often when we have new students starting the program. And what we often let students know is that will depend on which schedule we have a seat available in. But like I said, we offer morning, afternoon, evening. I have multiple schedules for each of our classes, for each of those schedules. So if you have a preference, we're going to do our very best that we can to get you a seat in that schedule that's preferred. Okay? So just know that we're here to work with you. We want to support you. We want to make sure that choosing us really works for you. Then I have a couple people saying hi.
Hi.
Any other questions out there tonight? Oh, how do you run the class during COVID-19? Great question. And again, this is a really important question to many of you. You know, when COVID-19 struck around the world, everybody was tasked with figuring out how are they going to continue? How are they going to continue when we couldn't have students in the classroom? And I can tell you that I was a part of the team that within a week, 1 week, got everybody online. And it was really remarkable, and I'm so grateful that I was a part of that transition. And the transition went very smoothly. And throughout that process, we have done evaluations of our students. We've done observations of the online classes. I personally sit in on classes. Our education managers sit in on classes. And we do that to ensure that the learning has not changed. We didn't want to take our classes online and have our students impacted at all, or to lose any value from being online. And I can tell you 100% that the value of education that our students got before COVID is exactly the same as they get now. And I think I mentioned earlier, we've had some agents who questioned how were we able to teach online. And so I invited them into the classroom. I said, come on in. I want you to come in. I want you to experience the class. I want you to join our students, and I want you to see exactly how classes run. And the response that they, or the feedback that they gave after was there's no difference. It is exactly the same. Students get to talk to their instructor. Students get to see examples from their instructor. Students get to share with each other. Students get to have group work. And it's just been a lovely transition. And many students are really, really enjoying it. In fact, I would say they really are. They're loving it.
They are enjoying it.
So it's
They don't have to commute.
That's
So
right.
They don't have
There's no commuting. Yeah. Yeah, so it's been really great. And then we've also adapted some of our assignments to the fact that students are at home. And especially at the beginning of COVID, when many students or people were not leaving their homes. And so we got creative and we made our assignments more focused on things that students had around the house, things that students could find in nature. And that was really important so that we could still give them the same experience that they had in class. And some of the artwork, I unfortunately do not have it here with me tonight, but some of the artwork that I saw that they produced at home was just remarkable. It was really beautiful. And some students were tasked with photographing them like art, and they really looked like art. And so it was lovely to see.
And the quality of the program hasn't changed at all. It's just given us different opportunities to express. So we can go on and we can find quotes or a song or something that relates to us or with our classroom. Actually, we've done pajama day with the class.
We have.
We've done crazy hair day with
That's
the class.
right.
We did the Star Wars, May the 4th
Oh,
be
May
with
the
you.
4th be with you for
So
Star
we've done
Wars.
a lot
That
of
was
things
fun.
like that were
Yeah.
creative and students like it. And
Yes.
you go on the camera and you have this crazy hair and
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah, people are asking how art classes and music and movement have translated online. I would say very easily.
We just move and dance like
We
this.
do, yeah. We, as students are dancing online, singing online. They're sharing songs that mean something to them or that they think would be really good to have in a center. Our instructors are creating art at home and then showing them to students as an example. And then students are also creating art at home. So it's really just been a very, very smooth transition. Well, I'm not sure if we have any other questions tonight. I hope that we've answered all the questions that everyone had. And I just really want to thank you for joining us tonight. You know, I was completely shocked that we had over 170 people joining us. And I'm so glad that I've been able to connect with each of you. Because during this time, it has been challenging to connect with each other. And doing it online has made it a bit different. But we've really been able to make sure that we have connections with our students, connections with each one of you. And I'm really grateful that we got to bring you into a classroom today to show you how our classes run and how they operate. I do hope that you've learned something about the programs. And if you have any more questions, please let us know. We're here to help. We're here to answer them for you. If you ever want to talk to me again, or Mata, or any one of our other, or any one of our other program leads or instructors, we're here for you. The exact same way we're here for our students. And I look forward to welcoming you if you're a student. And for those of you who are agents, I look forward to welcoming your students. So thank you again so very much for joining us tonight. Take care,
Thank you
be
very much.
healthy, stay safe.
Stay safe.